I didn't believe in cursed places. I believed in bad wiring and tired minds.
The storm erased the road until my GPS sounded confused.
It rerouted twice, then repeated the same sentence like it was stuck.
Proceed to the route. There was no route, just water, darkness, and time.
I slowed down and waited for a town, a sign, anything human. That's when I saw it. A hotel sign that couldn't decide on its own name.
Hollow Haven Hotel. The only light for miles. 3 cars. No people. 1 lamp, pulsing like a heartbeat.
Cold makes decisions for you. I went inside.
The lobby smelled like carpet shampoo, hiding something older.
Mildew. Metal. A faint sweetness like cheap perfume.
A man stood behind the desk. Name tag, Martin.
He smiled without showing teeth.
No computer. Just paper. A clipboard pushed toward me like a ritual.
I wrote my information. Martin didn't look at any of it.
Then he handed me a key card. And a laminated card that mattered more.
At the top, read before unlocking your room. I laughed once. Martin didn't.
He said, "You're here for 1 night. Please stay for 1 night." And
It didn't sound like advice. It sounded like procedure.
The storm made the decision for me. I took the elevator up. The building felt older than the city outside, like it had been waiting.
The carpet was dark red, patterned in a way that made my eyes slide off it.
Room 412. I stopped and read the rules again before I unlocked it.
Rule 1. If the hallway feels longer than it should, don't run.
Walk normally. Don't look behind you.
Rule 2. Don't use the mirror after 11:11 p.m. If you must, cover it completely, no gaps.
Rule 3. If the TV turns on by itself, leave it on. Set the volume to 13. Don't change the channel.
Rule 4. Don't open for housekeeping after 10 p.m.
Rule 5. 3 knocks and no shadow means don't answer, don't speak.
Then the list jumped. A clean tear. Rule 6 was missing.
not crossed out, not rewritten, removed like it was never meant for me.
Rule 7. If the elevator stops on a floor not listed, watch the doors. Don't look at your reflection. Not even a glance.
Rule 8. If water runs by itself, shut the bathroom door.
Place a towel at the bottom. Seal the gap.
Rule 9. If the phone rings once, ignore it.
If it rings twice, answer and say, "Wrong room." They'll hang up.
Rule 10. If you see another you, return and lock the door.
Rule 11. Don't evacuate for the alarm unless you smell smoke.
Rule 12. Check out before 6 a.m. If you miss it, ask for Martin.
On the back, faint pen. If #6 is gone, you're the reason.
I swallowed my nerves and unlocked the door anyway.
The room looked normal. That's what kept me there.
Queen bed, mirror above the dresser, TV across from the bed.
Bathroom door half open, like it never fully closed.
I set the rules beside the bed, like putting a charm next to a weapon.
It was 9:47 p.m. I told myself it was a gimmick, a joke for travelers.
Outside, the storm hammered the window like it wanted inside.
I showered, scrolled my phone, and waited for the feeling to pass.
At 10:03 p.m., someone knocked.
3 knocks. Slow. Polite. Like whoever it was had all night.
I checked the gap beneath the door. No shadow.
A voice said, "Housekeeping." It sounded too clean.
Rule 5 said don't answer. Don't speak. So I didn't.
The knocks stopped, but the presence stayed, like pressure in the air.
Then something traced the bottom of my door. Slow, patient, testing.
A whisper came through the wood. Rule 6.
I tried to laugh it off. My body didn't cooperate.
I stared at the missing strip like it might explain itself.
Minutes later, I went for ice to prove I wasn't trapped by my own fear.
The hallway was empty. Too empty. Like it had been cleared for a performance. After a few steps, the hallway felt longer than it should.
Rule 1. Don't run. Don't look behind. So I walked normally.
Footsteps appeared behind me, matching mine, 2 beats behind.
I kept my breathing steady and pretended I didn't hear them.
Then the footsteps stopped, and the silence felt worse.
The ice machine finally appeared. I filled the bucket with shaking hands.
I walked back without looking behind me. Something leaned close enough to chill my neck and whispered in my own voice. Missing. I got back inside, locked the door, and decided I wouldn't leave again. It was 10:49 p.m. My hands wouldn't stop shaking.
The TV was off. The mirror reflected everything too perfectly.
Then the TV clicked on by itself.
My hand reached for the remote, then stopped.
Rule 3.
I left it on and set the volume to 13.
A low hum filled the room, like electricity behind the walls.
The screen showed my hallway. A live feed aimed straight at my door. For a moment, nothing moved. Then the image warped at the edges.
Shape drifted in. Not walking, gliding.
It stopped at my door like it knew exactly where it was going.
It leaned toward the camera.
The static thickened like breath against glass, and the room felt smaller, like it was leaning in with it. The TV blinked. Now it showed my room from a ceiling corner.
I looked up. There was no camera. But the screen kept watching me. On the screen, I sat on the bed watching the TV. Watching myself watch.
My on-screen self turned his head like someone stood behind him.
I turned. Nothing. The room was empty. Too empty.
I looked back. My on-screen self mouthed one word. Don't.
Then the screen cut to black, but the hum stayed. I stared at the clock. Rule 2 had a specific time, 11:11. At 11:11 p.m., the room didn't change. That's why I relaxed for half a second.
In the mirror, I saw movement that wasn't mine.
My reflection moved a beat late, like it was lagging.
Then it smiled. Not fully, like it was practicing.
I grabbed a towel and covered the mirror completely.
The towel sagged as if a hand pressed from the other side. Fingers too long.
Something inhaled through the cloth, like it was smelling me.
I backed away until my legs hit the bed and I sat down hard.
I didn't sleep. I waited, because waiting felt safer than moving.
At 12:22 a.m., the phone rang once.
Rule 9. Once means ignore it. I held my breath.
Then it rang twice. Twice meant answer.
I picked it up and said, "Wrong room."
For a moment, only breathing. Then a polite voice, calm as a clerk.
It said, "We noticed you haven't acknowledged Rule 6. I said, "Don't have Rule 6.
The voice paused, then said softly, "Exactly." I hung up.
Then water started running in the bathroom. I hadn't turned anything on.
Rule 8. I moved slowly, like speed might offend the room.
I shut the bathroom door
and I placed a towel against the bottom gap to seal it.
The water stopped immediately, like it was waiting for my response. The towel lifted as something pressed from inside. Then it fell again.
The doorknob turned. Slow. Careful. Like it understood locks. I jammed a chair under the handle and stepped back.
The bathroom went quiet, but I could still feel it on the other side.
Then the hotel speakers crackled. Elevator service to floor 6 is now available.
There was no floor 6 listed earlier. The building sounded proud of itself. I stared at the missing rule again and realized the hotel wanted me to notice. I needed answers. I left 412 and walked to the elevator.
The hallway was empty. The carpet pattern looked darker than before.
The elevator panel listed floors 1 through 5, no 6.
I pressed 1. The doors closed with a soft sigh.
Halfway down, the elevator stopped hard enough to jolt my teeth.
The light flickered once. The hum deepened like a throat clearing.
A new button lit up. 6. It hadn't been there a second ago.
Rule 7. Keep your eyes on the doors. Don't look at your reflection.
The doors opened to a hallway that wasn't mine. Narrower. Dimmer.
Every door was unnumbered. Blank wood waiting for a label. At the far end, one door stood slightly open. Darkness leaked out like cold air.
I kept my eyes on the open doors and refused to check my reflection.
A man stepped from the shadows. Hoodie. Jeans. Wristband.
He looked like he hadn't slept in days. Like sleep had stopped accepting him.
He whispered, "You got the missing one too?"
His eyes flicked to my card and he flinched at the tear like it hurt him. He said I tore it off. I thought if I removed it, it couldn't happen. His voice cracked. It doesn't work like that.
He pulled back his sleeve. A bruise shaped like a handprint.
Not a human hand. Too many fingers, like it was built to hold more.
The elevator chimed, impatient. The doors started closing.
He lunged forward and jammed his hand in the doors to stop them.
Find Rule 6. It's written where you already looked. He leaned close and hissed, "Find Rule 6. It's written where you already looked."
The doors pushed against his arm like they were tired of him.
He whispered, "It's the hotel's favorite part."
The doors sealed. The elevator shuddered.
I didn't hear a scream. I heard a wet, tearing sound, like cloth ripping.
Then the elevator continued down as if nothing had happened.
The lobby looked normal again.
That was the most unreal part.
Martin stood behind the desk, smiling like he'd been waiting for me to finish a lesson.
I stepped to the counter and asked, "What is Rule 6?
Martin said, "Rule 6 is personalized." I told him it was missing. He nodded like that was expected. He said guests tear it off, thinking removing a rule removes the consequence.
It only removes the warning," he said, polite as a clerk.
I asked how to leave. My voice came out smaller than I wanted.
Check out before 6, he said. Then, if you find Rule 6, don't read it out loud.
He slid a brass key across the counter, engraved with the number 4112.
The key felt old and warm, like it had been in someone's hand for years.
I couldn't remember if my door used a card or a key anymore.
Martin said, "Rules aren't to keep you safe. They keep the hotel hungry in an organized way."
I went back upstairs with the key in my palm, like a bad omen. At 4:12, everything looked normal again. That's how it stayed convincing. The towel still covered the mirror. The chair still blocked the bathroom.
I searched where I'd already looked, because someone told me Rule 6 was there.
Mirror, TV, door, phone, bathroom. Nothing offered the missing line.
Then I noticed the painting above the bed. Cheap beach at dusk. Forgettable.
I realized I hadn't actually looked at it. Not once.
I stepped onto the bed and lifted the frame off the wall.
Behind it, taped to the wall, was a thin, torn strip of paper. The missing piece. My stomach dropped before I even read it. The ink was darker than the rest, like it had been written later.
There were fingerprints on it, smudged, like many hands had held it and hoped.
I remembered Martin's warning. Don't read it out loud. So I read it silently.
Rule 6 said, if it's missing, don't try to leave. At 3:06 a.m., someone will knock. You must open the door.
If you don't, the hotel will open it for you, and you won't be what walks out.
On the back, open the door, but do not let it see your face.
That line felt like a secret from someone who survived longer than they should.
I grabbed a pillowcase and the cheap hotel scissors from the desk drawer.
I cut 2 holes. A crude mask. Ridiculous, until fear makes it reasonable.
I covered the peephole with tape. I didn't want anything looking back.
I tested the lock again and again, like repetition could make it honest.
I moved furniture, then moved it back. I rehearsed opening the door without facing it.
I uncovered the mirror. It looked normal, but I didn't trust it.
The TV clicked on again, like it was keeping time for the hotel.
The hallway feed returned. Volume 13. The hum filled the room. On the screen, the carpet looked wet. Not with rain, with something else.
The phone rang once. I ignored it.
It rang twice. I answered, said wrong room, and hung up.
I watched the clock. 2:58 a.m. The last minutes crawled.
My heartbeat felt louder than the storm outside.
On the TV, something drifted closer to my door. No shadow. No weight.
3:05. Then 3:05 and change. I held my breath like it mattered.
At 3:06 a.m., the world went still.
Then came 3 knocks. Slow, polite, certain.
I checked the gap. No shadow. Only light.
Housekeeping. The voice said, housekeeping, like it expected obedience.
I put on the pillowcase mask.
Then I layered a towel over it. I wasn't taking chances with my face.
I turned my face away from the door, like I was ashamed to be seen.
I unlocked the door, slow enough to feel each click as a decision. I opened it.
The hallway looked empty. That made my stomach drop.
Wet footprints stopped right in front of my door.
Then another set. Bare footprints, facing me, toe to toe.
The air turned cold. I kept my head down and my face hidden.
Something brushed past my shoulder like wet hair and fabric.
A voice inches from me whispered, "Thank you." Behind me, the bathroom chair scraped across the floor.
The bathroom door swung open like the room was exhaling.
A hand touched my chin. Too many fingers. It tried to lift my face. I flinched. The towel slipped for a fraction of a second.
The TV screamed into static. The hum turned into a snarl.
The hallway lights pulsed, and I felt eyes all over my skin.
Oh, there you are.
The door slammed shut behind me and locked.
I grabbed the handle. It wouldn't move. I was in the hallway now.
The hallway stretched, longer than it should, like the building was rearranging space. Door numbers shifted. 412 changed. Then blank wood, unnumbered. A wall mirror appeared. Rule 7 screamed in my head. Don't look!
I didn't look straight, but I saw my reflection in the corner of my vision.
It wore a hotel uniform.
A name tag. It said, Martin.
You weren't supposed to see that yet. He walked beside me like we were co-workers on a quiet shift. He said, I checked in once too. Same as you. I followed the rules.
Except I couldn't find 6, he added, like it was a missing signature.
He told me the guest before him tore it off, thinking it would stop what was coming.
It didn't stop anything, he said. It only stopped him from knowing.
At the end of the hall, a doorway stood open. Cold air poured out.
Inside were whispers, not one voice, many, reciting rules like prayers.
The whispers didn't plead or scream. They rehearsed the rules over and over, like repetition could keep them human.
Rule 1, Rule 2, Rule 3. Over and over, like people trying to stay themselves.
The hotel isn't hungry for bodies. It's hungry for roles.
Guests become functions, warnings. Staff, he said.
And if you don't become staff, you become a room. He offered me a fresh laminated card, all 12 rules, including 6, untorn.
He said, you can still leave. Give this to someone else. Replace yourself.
My stomach turned. He was asking me to trap someone and calling it checkout.
He said the hotel appears where storms are worst, where people are alone, where roads forget names.
Behind us, the whispering grew louder, like a choir waiting for a new voice.
I remembered the line on the back of my card. If #6 is gone, you're the reason.
It wasn't a curse. It was a diagnosis. The hotel had already started writing me.
Then I heard a bell.
A new guest checking in somewhere nearby.
I made my choice. Not heroic, not clean, just human. I took the card.
The hallway shortened behind me like the hotel approved. The lights warmed. By the time I reached the lobby, everything looked normal again.
A young woman stood at the counter, soaked and shaking, clutching her phone.
Martin watched from behind the desk, smiling like a teacher watching a test.
I tried to warn her. I tried. But something tightened in my chest like a rule being written.
My hand slid the card across the counter. My voice came out calm. These are the rules.
She scanned the list and frowned.
Rule 6 is missing.
I swallowed. I wanted to tell her what it meant. Instead, I smiled.
And I said the sentence the hotel had been practicing in my throat all night.
Please stay for one night. 希望家人期我在寫來笑。
She hesitated, then took the key card, because the storm outside made the decision for her.
She walked toward the elevator, eyes fixed forward, like the building was guiding her.
Behind her, Martin rang the bell once. Just once, like a checkbox.
Outside, the storm swallowed the road, and the hotel rearranged itself quietly. Torn gap where Rule 6 should be looked clean. Intentional.
The elevator doors closed on her, soft as a sigh.
And I realized my voice didn't feel fully mine anymore.
Somewhere above, the hallway stretched again, preparing for new footsteps. Somewhere behind a covered mirror, something practiced a smile.
Somewhere on a screen, the hallway feed waited, humming at 13.
If you ever check into a hotel during a storm and they hand you a list of rules, count them.
If Rule 6 is missing, don't ask what it says. That means the hotel already chose you.
And if you want the next confession, stay close.
Because some places don't want you dead.
They want you useful.
And they always have rules ready for the next guest.
If you're still here, you already know.
Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next file.